Javid,
Yo,
how we doing, mate?
good Aaron, how are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. You're in DC yet?
Yes. I came on Sunday.
How's it treating you?
It's good. It reminds me of London a lot, actually. Just, grey, grey, and a lot of buildings.
Sounds about right, mate. I'll crack straight on, buddy. First and foremost, cheers for taking the time to chat today. It's much appreciated, mate. I ask this to every fighter that I get a chance to speak to, just out of sheer curiosity. But what made you get into MMA?
Just being new to the country, when I came over from Afghanistan, not knowing the language properly, and a lot of miscommunications, let's say, happening, with kids and like with your fellow classmates and stuff. So I was like, end up fighting a lot, in school. And my dad just was like, "Hey, you need to calm down and like go into taekwondo or something, just to uh like just to that little bit of extra energy I had, and that anger, just go let it out there." And then it was like a natural transition after that, we started becoming fight fans and watching more boxing and wrestling and stuff. And then when we found out about the UFC, it was like, all right, this is it. Like this is how you bring everything together, So it was a pretty natural transition.
Champion. And obviously you rose through the ranks of UFC MMA, BAMA, before finding yourself on Dana White's Contender Series in 2021. I'm just wondering if you can kind of tell us what that experience was like from a fighter's perspective.
Man, the Contender Series, my one in particular, was a little bit more different because of the whole incident at the weigh-in where the guy called me a terrorist. So it was like more like going into a street fight because there was no music behind, like the usual lights, and like when you go to an event, there's like crowd lights and this and that. I just kind of walked in, and it's like we kind of made an agreement. All right, see me at this time, in at that place, and there was a couple guys just watching just in case things doesn't get out of hand, and it just looked like a proper straightener. That's how it felt, to me, because it was also very personal.
Of course. And you obviously faced Ricky Simon come Saturday night at UFC Fight Night 252. What do you make of Ricky?
Ricky's a very good fighter. He's fought a lot of the guys that are ranked right now and doing well, and he was in close fights with a lot of them, and like the ones he lost, but the ones, and he's also beaten great fighters too. Like ranked fighters. He's been in the UFC maybe, I don't know how long, but he's been in there for a very long time now. I remember watching him even before I was in the UFC. So he's a very good fighter, and I'm expecting a tough fight. But knowing myself and my skills, I know I can make it look easy. I just need to go out there and perform, and I will, and I will make this look easy.
Champion. It's been a weird couple of years in terms of results. Obviously, you first found yourself in a no contest with Victor Henry. Switch kick to the cup, no contest. You later said that he wanted a way out of the fight and he took it. Do you still believe that was the case?
Honestly, it doesn't matter what I believe. I genuinely do uh, think, like, I had a lot of respect for not Ricky, Victor before that fight. I thought, oh, he's an old school guy, rough, tough, this and that. And then like something like that happens. Like the a week doesn't go by where I see somebody in the UFC getting hit way harder. I mean, 10 times harder than I hit him, and they carry on, nothing wrong, nothing to say about anything. This one, I even doubt I even hit him low. First of all, because in the replay it's not clear, and I didn't feel like I did at the time. But adrenaline's pumping. Who am I to say? And then the doctor comes in and says it wasn't low. So it's like, what are we kind of doing? So the official says it on the camera. It wasn't clearly that it hit, but you have to kind of take the fight as, I guess, like you have to give him kind of the benefit of the doubt. So that was just a weird type of situation, but that felt like a win to me. It didn't feel like I lost or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe on paper he says a no contest, but I beat Victor Henry. So that's why I said looking for a way out type of thing, because that fight was only going downhill for him.
Then obviously Zahabi, the last belt that you had, fight that many fans believe that you should have won. To be honest with you, it was a weird call on the judge's part. Do you believe that you won that fight? And what did you learn from that as your first professional loss?
Absolutely, I felt like I won that fight, and I know I won that fight as well. It's just they kind of gave it to him, and whatever they gave it to him. It was a competitive fight. Don't get me wrong. Like it wasn't like one completely one sided. It was competitive, but I felt in control the whole time. I felt I won all the rounds. To be honest with you, at least two, but I felt like I won every round. And yeah, in terms of like what I learned from that is I had to learn what's it called? Like I saw that he was trying to play the game a little bit, like trying to perform for the judges more so than the fight, you know. And that's like a veteran move, you know. Like he hasn't had that many fights, but he's been around the game a long time, you know. So he's pretty much of a vet, and he just tried to nick rounds here and there, and I was like, okay, fair play. I see I did it, but it didn't feel like a loss to me. So what I learned from that was I need to make a couple adjustments away, you know, but make a couple adjustments, and that fight is not even close, you know. And
Totally.
regards to like how I felt, like from the loss, I wasn't disheartened from a loss because the loss is kind of more for you guys, you know. For me, especially when it's that close, like when you don't get knocked out or submitted, when it's like a close type of decision, uh, it's you don't really take that much from it. Apart from even had you won that fight, you should you should be thinking about improving, you know, because why was it that type of close, and why did certain judges see a certain way, you know? So you gotta kind of take it how it is and always improve.
Always moving forward.
Yeah,
It's what you want, mate. Listen, we can't talk about Javid Basharat without bringing up your brother, Farid.
yeah.
What's it been like also having a brother in the UFC alongside you every step of the way, and how far do you think he can go with the promotion?
Uh, First of all, Farid can be champion. I have no doubt about that, and he will be champion. He just needs to have the right fights to kind of give him that exposure. But he's undoubtedly the most talented person I've trained with, and I trained with everybody. You know, like all the top guys that you guys see in the division, I've trained with a lot of them. And Farid beats, in my opinion, he beats all of them. He just needs the fights to be able to prove it. And what was the other question? Sorry.
What's it been like, obviously being with him every step of the way, and him being with you every step of the way?
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool because how I do in my fights, he kind of knows where he's at, and how he does in his fights, I know where I'm at because we train together, you know? So it's like, you know, two eyes is better than one, but four is better than two.
Last one from me, mate. What's next for Javid Basharat if he gets his hand raised on Saturday night?
Um, I'm not really trying to look past Ricky, but I definitely, when I beat Ricky, I want to definitely have a ranked guy or have a chance to fight for a ranking, you know, because I do believe I should have been in the ranking a while now, but things played out how they played out. So yeah, that would be my thing. And by the end of the year, I want to be top 10.